When I was a junior in high school, I was taking organic chemistry and I fell in love with the subject matter. I wanted to go into something science and medicine. I love football too. I was raised in a football family, and so I printed off the top 25 football teams at the time, and I printed off the top 25 pharmacy schools, and I applied to all the schools that matched. So when I was taking my tour of Auburn's campus, I met with the recruiter for the pharmacy school at the time. And in that moment, in that tour, he gave me my first copy of the Auburn Creed. I read it, and nothing has resonated with me that much ever. And I knew that was one of the reasons I knew I had to go to Auburn. After pharmacy school, I did 2 years of residency training, specializing in infectious diseases, because I thought drugs that we use to treat patients with infections were just absolutely fascinating. So after I completed my residency training, I took a job at the University of Pittsburgh, and then COVID happened. I emailed one of my colleagues and said, I'm seeing some crazy orders come across in our patient population for COVID-19, and is anyone working on trying to summarize the data that's out there, the proposed experimental therapies, what is going into clinical trials as we try to learn about this disease and discover ways to treat our patients? Is there anyone that's summarizing that for UPMC health system? I'd love to help. And he emailed me back and said, no one's working on this yet. Would love to see what you come up with. And so that led to the first draft of our first COVID-19 treatment guideline. We started truly putting out systems and protocols and information technology support across the entire healthcare system, rural, critical access hospitals, community, and the academic and urban areas. They were all operating under the same oversight, which was our committee. I went from being kind of one pharmacist at one hospital to being the system lead pharmacist for all of COVID-19 therapeutics, basically by asking if anyone was writing a guideline. The other major thing I've taken on in the past year is I'm the lead pharmacist for the UPMC monoclonal antibody network, which is just this massive coordinated care system. And then that translated into the outpatient work around November 2020 when monoclonal antibodies received emergency use authorization. Now we had to shift from what we had built inpatient into the whole vast world of outpatient care. Monoclonal antibodies are highly effective, but they are logistically challenging to get to patients, and it takes a whole village of people to coordinate this. And so we had started this system, and the White House caught wind of this and said, we've invested in all of these drugs and people aren't using them, and you guys seem to have figured out how to use them. We want to help you do more of this. And so with these efforts from, again, just a really incredible team of people, we were able to go from treating about 3% of all eligible patients to about 30% of eligible patients in just shy of a couple months, which is just really, really tremendous increase in access and something we're really, really proud of. What I've learned and what I take with me and what I try to teach is that if something's not being done or we think something could be improved upon, don't ever be afraid to step forward and challenge the status quo and ask why not. A lot of this is really hard work, but if you're doing it for the right reasons, which go into mutual helpfulness, which is displaying kindness always and knowing that I don't do any of this alone. I could not accomplish anything without just the tremendous teams I've been really blessed to be a part of. And then the human touch, which for me and in my work now is just putting the patient first, always. And if we do what we do with that in mind and we work hard and we work together, that just makes it all worth it. And that is what Auburn taught me.